Hello there, Penguins, I'm Montrav, and welcome to episode 2 of Tewey Talks. That is a mouthful. I'm obviously joined by the Dragon God of Gaming, Damian Dragon. Say hello.
Hey, what's happening, everyone?
As you can see, we can actually see Damian's logo and his face, but complicated tech problems. That's actually Damian's OBS screen sharing, but you know, we move. We got there in the end. So welcome to Chewy Talks. So let's get the yes, I've got a bad shoulder. Let's ignore that and let's talk about almost 3 years of IC. So as I said repeatedly through the last episode, we don't know when you're seeing these. So all I know is episode 1 with Chaos has come out now. By the time you've seen this, so did you enjoy that episode? Just say yes.
I actually did see a good part of the episode, just that I didn't see the entire episode, but I do say that everyone should watch that entire episode.
Yes. Basically, go watch that. Because behind the scenes, that's actually been recorded and uploaded to IC, but privately, it's there. So we're on to episode 2. You're the second person to sit down and have this talk with me. Next time will be the turtle. Jimmy, it'll be Image.
Indeed. Well, I think it was a good idea to get the 2 founding members in first.
Well, I've gone in order of joining, so I've obviously officially it would be me with me, but because it was my idea, but I can't do it with myself.
Yeah. Well, that being said, Chaos was approached first, and then at the time I was an admin of a group, and I was approached second afterward.
So how you came to be in IC. So literally, as we're recording this, about 3 years ago, I approached Chaos and said, "Wagwan Famalam, let's do this." And he very nearly said no, but thankfully said yes. Then we spent hours, and I mean hours, trying to work out, okay, who's going to join the group. And then we came to the conclusion, you're going to be asked. And you were asked, and you said yes. So you joined IC in late December 2018, wasn't it? Yeah.
Or late 2017, early 2018 is when I officially joined the group.
It can't be 2017. It must be 2018, 2019. Because
around those times, yeah. I see what's
in thing.
I'm a little bit off of my time.
So yeah. IC was about now 3 years ago coming into my head. So yeah, you would be December 2018, January 2019. And then the channel launched in March of 2019 officially, but we worked on it. So talking about the channel launch, what has been your all-time favourite series that you have done on IC?
Wow. Coming through so many hours of, recordings, some of my favorites, if anything, has to be one of my first, full-length recording sessions, which was Kirby's Dream Course.
Okay.
I really enjoyed that series, not because it was, it's one of the oldies, and it was hey, it was really fun to record, but it's just, I loved anything that has to do with Kirby. Yes.
So your series. So one of the big things on this channel has been collaborative series. So obviously we have Monday Madness. You taken part in at time of recording, not including the series we started to record yesterday with you and Chaos. So we can't actually say what that series is because that's not been announced, or it might have been announced, and we hope you're enjoying that series. But just to save blushes, just in case. We won't mention that. Out of the MMs that you have taken part in and the ones you haven't taken part in, what's your favourite and why?
I've been in almost all of the MMs. Almost.
So the ones you haven't been in were...
one of the ones I haven't been in.
So you weren't in Battle Blocks.
No, I was not.
The Apex MMM.
I was going to be, but at the time, I really couldn't join any collaborative efforts on that part.
Yeah, so you weren't in Apex, you weren't in Battle Blocks,
No.
You weren't in. You were in Sonic Heroes, but you weren't in the one with Jimmy and Chaos. Then you weren't in
Star Fox. That was Star Fox.
Firefox. Then you're not in the one with me and Chaos. There's another one
No.
before. So there's a series that even at this point. So you've done. So this is the series that's coming out after Colosseum is me and Chaos. So
Yeah.
we can't mention that by name because obviously I don't want to spoil it. So up to Colosseum then. What's been your favourite MM?
If there's several like I really enjoyed doing. First off, the current series I'm doing right now with Jimmy, Pokemon Colosseum.
I'm
That
enjoying
thing is that thing is hype. The second one would have to be our original Minecraft Let's Plays on the channel with all the boys.
So the one that started with Dave and Jimmy in.
Yes.
Yeah. That was, you know what, that series was, me and Chaos discussed it, and I can't remember what we said, but it was a point where I think it was the last series where we could truly be a full group. Because
Pretty much.
obviously since then we haven't done a full group series. We are in the process of it, of recording it, but obviously we can't once again name it by name, but we started recording it in March of this year.
Yes.
At the time of recording, it is the 28th of October. We've still got about 3 episodes left to record.
Yep. Yep. But the thing
I
is,
think that shows how difficult it is to get a whole group together now.
I mean, the whole group is perfectly content with doing a full group thing. It's just time wise that everyone is like just getting things apart. You and our editor Dave, lovely human being he is. You guys are in the UK,
So
completely different time zone than
we're
us.
5 hours ahead most of the year.
Yes, me, Chaos, Jimmy, we're in the States on the more eastern seaboard, so when you guys have like the afternoons, it's early morning for us.
So yeah, so when recording, traditionally we recorded evenings for Americans, which quite notably, as we just mentioned, the Brits are ahead. It doesn't take a genius to work out what time it was for me and Dave, and often it was 2, 3 in the morning we were recording.
Yep.
That got to a point of it just wasn't feasible anymore. It was unhealthy for us.
Everyone.
So it got to the point of Dave said no to late recordings, and then it got to the point where even I was saying absolutely not, I'm not doing it. So, but then in recent times, you know, me, you, and Chaos have got literally one afternoon for my time. So morning for you and Chaos. That is the only time the 3 of us are able to be together, and that is it.
And for us, for those of you that don't know, that'll be early afternoon for him, which is for me and Chaos, and then in the morning.
So yeah,
and both of us are exhausted.
But it gets you out of bed.
It does. It does.
But that's the more healthy way when getting me and Dave to set till 4 in the morning.
Pretty much.
Because I mean, I referenced it with Chaos in the Minecraft MMM, so all the way back in June of 2019. We finished recording that at about 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah, and I think everyone was extremely exhausted at the time. So it's just like everyone was just like, I hate it right now.
I think Dave and Chaos edited. Dave did a fantastic job of editing that, and I think it really hides the fact. You can tell from the footage you use that most of it's from your end, because it's hiding the fact that me and Dave at the point were just lagging. We were just tired and completely lost our sense of humour at this point. Because it's a natural thing. When you get a bit tired, you get a bit crabby. When you get a bit crabby, your sense of humour disappears.
Oh yeah. I think we're gonna talk about this later in this episode, but there have been times when the actual boys have gotten extremely pissed off, either before or right after a recording session.
All the time.
All the time. And normally it's either me, Jimmy, or you.
Right, we'll actually talk about this now. So when it comes to people being pissed off with recordings, Dave thinks it but doesn't say it.
Yep.
He is often thinking something, but he won't say it because he's polite.
Oh, I know. I could just tell in the inflection of his voice.
When Dave goes quiet, we are fucked up. Whereas I think, particularly with me, we're the two that if something's pissed us off, we're most likely to moan about it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a secret that we will be... If anyone's going to have a colossal argument, if it's not between me and Chaos behind the scenes, it's me and you.
Yeah, we've hashed it out a couple times, but it's
I'm always right.
never a point where, we want to do said thing, but it's more along the lines of, petty differences that just, spark a problem.
I mean, as I think I said with Chaos, and when we spoke about this topic, is sometimes people just catch people in the wrong moment, and you are a specialist at catching my wrong moments. Just when you're like, no, I don't want to, like when it's like someone be going, this is not the time, you just find a way to get to be like, it's time for war, boy, someone's just texted me. But yeah, so arguments do happen, but they're never major ones, particularly. They're more frustrations. And that happens when you work closely, because, I mean, me and you have known each other for nearly 6 years. So, of course we're going to have frustrations at times. It's just natural. It's human nature. I would say the most major one in IC wasn't between me and you. It was 100% between me and Chaos behind the scenes.
I've had to break up a couple of fights between you and a couple of the IC members. I don't like to hash out people that are no longer with the Invisible Corporation, but let's just say this. There was a time, I'm not going to name names, but it was you and someone else.
I know exactly what you're on about.
I woke up at midnight. Literally at midnight. And I woke up to my iPad dinging off and on. And it was because you and another one of the IC members were going at it.
Is it a T?
There is an S in the name.
Yes, I know. I know. I've had two.
It was extremely early that I've broken up a couple fights between you and a couple IC members.
I mean, this was, obviously, me and you know what we're talking about here, but we will talk about what it was about. This was about recording the MM for the series that hasn't aired yet, and he didn't turn up to the recording.
Oh my god, yes.
So basically, to sum this up, Damian, Jimmy, and Dave and this person were recording their segment to the series. So me and Chaos weren't there. We weren't booked to be there. We had no need to be there. So Chaos was streaming, and I was watching the Chaos stream, and I noticed that it was slowly but surely getting to 7 o'clock my time, so 2 o'clock your time. And there was still only 3 of you in the call. And I sent a message, and I saw Jimmy said, where are you? Where are you at him? And then I at him said, you need to be there. And then it got to the point of about 50 minutes past the recording time, and he just wasn't there. So I think I hopped in the call and said, call it there, lads. Just go and enjoy the night.
I think I could put it a little bit better. For those that don't know, me, Jimmy, and Dave all have a volatile streak about us. If you guys don't know, we can get really upset when it comes to scheduling time.
Dave's very chill. Dave just went to it.
Yeah, but I know when he starts getting quiet, it's when his nerves are getting hit. And me and Jimmy, we just not let back. Like, I had to be forcibly stopped from talking because said person came into the call nearly an hour in after all of us were just sitting there like, we were just talking, but still, like, all of us it just got on our nerves.
Well,
I
I was
had
in
to
the call. So
You
literally,
did hop in. You
I
did hop
wasn't.
in.
I wasn't even supposed to be there, and I was in the call.
Exactly.
And
What happened? But what got on my nerves more about that session was he jumped in, said I'm sorry, and jumped back out, and then went offline. And I was just like,
yeah, and that was. I don't think it's a secret. That was the moment where I, you know,
called it. Yeah.
he did. Let's just say, it was only the next day he left the group.
And the funny thing is, you approached me, not even about an hour or so after the calling of that episode was called off. You messaged me, was like, do you think he should stay in the group? And I think I was one of the first ones. I think you approached Chaos first.
So yeah,
and
how this works, when there's a recurring problem with a group, we've only ever had to remove 2 people from a group. You know, so how it works is, so with the first one, that was kind of, the group were just fed up with this person. He'd rubbed everyone up the wrong way, and it got to the point of Chaos and me had just finished recording, and Chaos said to me, "Shall we, do this?" And that occasion we didn't go into a group, and we just went, "Yeah, sack him off, he's gone." But with this one, it was very, very different. So I approached Chaos, and I said, "What do you think?" And he was, because he had nothing to do with the recording, and he wasn't there and didn't really know much about it. He said, let's talk to the rest of the group. And so I messaged every single member and said, "What do you think?" Every single one of you came back and said, "No, he's gone." So it was, in a way, that was probably one of the darkest days of IC. That was one of the worst days.
Like, don't get us wrong, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you that are watching, we don't like sacking people off.
Oh
Ever.
no! This person was given. This was about his 17th chance from me and Chaos.
And it wasn't even like, it wasn't just a 1 to 2 time thing. It was literally every single time someone needed to work with them. Well, it was just.
Yeah, he's the reason we haven't done a third Invisible Corporations Cup yet, because he didn't.
Yeah.
He didn't turn up to the second one, and me and Chaos just completely lost it with him. And it's like, he's another factor to why the podcast doesn't happen anymore, because he was unreliable. It just got to the point of it wasn't feasible anymore, and we were all a bit fed up.
Pretty much. And again, you guys literally had to stop me from actually saying anything. Because at the point, if you guys don't know, from all my videos, I'm the one that runs his mouth without a censor. And I as Tewey, when I go off on a tangent, when I go off on a tangent, I will hit people so hard that even if I'm playing, you will still feel it.
I mean, I think I would agree that me and you have the sharpest temper. I stand by, but if you end up on the wrong side of me, oh dear God for you, it's not a good thing. But I remember, because as you said, after the incident, it was not just like 20 minutes after, it was about 3 or 4 hours after the incident. That's because I was taking a good moment to take a chance and relax about the whole situation and think thoroughly, because I knew I was so hacked off. I was seeing red. I was going to bypass. And this is one of the reasons why me and Chaos work well together, was Chaos is like a cooling thing. So I'd cooled off, then we spoke to each other, then we decided what we were going to do.
Yeah.
Let's move on from the negative and let's talk about the positives.
Yes, let's.
So since you joined IC, you were the first person after Chaos, so you were the third overall person. You appeared in basically all the podcasts. I think you appeared in all the podcasts after you joined. So that's episode 10 onwards.
Yeah.
So the podcast we don't do anymore because of timings and restraints. Would you ever bring it back?
Personally, yes, I actually would.
Oh, would
Because
you?
it gives everyone a chance to like go over, not only just ideas for the Invisible Corporation, but it's the one time like per month that we actually sit back and say, you know, everyone in the group can just sit back, talk, and just shoot the breeze with everyone else. We don't normally all sit down for just one thing ever and just sit back and talk. And that's what I liked about the podcast. Like, I get to sit back, even though most of the times I was extremely tired because I had just woken up, and I'm just like, okay, sit back in my chair, have to record. Ugh.
I mean, I
But
think, as you say, the podcast, it was literally by the end of the podcast. I mean, it hasn't been aired all year, all 2021. And I know the original plan, so I'll break the fourth wall here. The podcast going on hiatus was 100% my idea. It was, well, the podcast was my idea, and I was its biggest defender for a long, long time. I mean, it got to the point of we were doing the same thing every month, and we needed to change it up, but we couldn't work out how to change it up. That's my phone telling me to record with you. Oh, my lights come on. It's 4 o'clock. But it's like saying it just got to the point it was bored. So the original plan with the podcast was for it to go on a 2 to 3 month hiatus, and then in April we would bring it back. In April, we were all too busy. Then when we came to bring it back in May, I had coronavirus and was on the ropes, and Dave was too busy. And then when we just slightly realised none of us had the time anymore on that Saturday to do it live. So then it was suggested we would pre-record it, and then we realised, oh shit, we genuinely just don't have time for all of us to be there. And that's certainly not helped by the fact that IC has grown since.
oh, absolutely.
We've added 3 new members. We are the largest we've ever been in terms of members, so it's unfeasible at the moment. But if we could bring back Invisible Corporation's podcast, I 100% would, in a heartbeat. So in terms of MMs, we've spoken about these. Is there a game you would ever really want to do?
Wow. Basically, if you guys don't know, we love tournaments. The entire
I do
group
love
loves
a tournament.
And if any of you know me, one of my favorite games ever, Mortal Kombat.
Oh!
And it would be amazing to have a Mortal Kombat MM tournament. Because it will put everyone's just like strategy game to the freaking test. It'll be something that I would love.
What console is Mortal Kombat on?
Literally every console. Literally everyone.
I think that's a good idea. Let's try and do it. I don't think it's not a secret that in IC we're slightly competitive.
Yes.
One of the reasons. So actually, the Castle Crashers MM and thus the MM format as we know it came from. We realised we would kill each other if we did competitive ones every single month. Because for Minecraft MM, it's no secret that ended up in disaster. Because it went wrong because we're all too competitive.
We all tried to compete for the same amount of diamonds. To the point where, like, I had to be given a certain privilege, and I overused that to a sickening degree. And it was almost always Tewey that got the short end of the stick.
Yes, it was. But yeah, so one of the reasons, the Invisible Corporation's Cup, the original Mario Kart one, came because I wanted to have a tournament Mario Kart. Then the second one, the Pokemon typing competition, came out because we wanted a bit of competitiveness again. Now, we haven't done a third one. In our private group chat, it's placed on record that I'd be interested in doing a third. But would you do a third?
I would absolutely get into the third one.
Because you've not taken part in any of them, have you?
No, because at the time, for the uninitiated, at the time of the first Mario Kart tournament, it was Mario Kart, the latest Mario Kart, I
Deluxe.
believe, yeah, Deluxe. And at the time, I did not have a Switch, so that means
No.
I could not take in part of in it if I wanted to. The second one, I wasn't actually told about the second one.
No, the second one you were away. You were on holiday.
Yeah, everyone needs a holiday at some point or another. Everyone needs to take time off,
Yeah.
and that's how we kind of,
Yeah.
just branch out with all of our stuff. Just like, hey, let me take a break for a little bit, then,
Yeah. So
get
while
back in.
we're talking about breaks, I think you're the only person who hasn't taken an extended period of time away. Because Chaos did, but you couldn't tell, and only I knew because he was pre-recorded. I took a 3-month hiatus after after Sims 4 and between Call of Duty.
Mm.
Jimmy took a hiatus, but after Animal Crossing. But you've only missed the occasional episode of any of your series. There has been the occasional video, where you've missed it, or it's gone to the later slot and we've used a one-off, for example.
Yes.
In the almost over 2 years of gaming news, you have only missed one episode.
And that one was around my birthday.
No, it
And
wasn't. It was your birthday.
it was on my birthday, but we had talked about that a
Yeah.
couple days prior, and I'm like, hey, can you cover this?
So how that conversation went down was you said, "Well, I want to take some time off to do my birthday," and I was like, "Fair enough. We all do. I normally take time off around my birthday because it's Christmas." And then I think I said to you, this was about 2 weeks before. I said, "Oh, pre-record it,"
Mm.
and then you quite wisely pointed out you can't pre-record the news, and so ended up with a recovering ill me taking on the news. So we're talking about the gaming news. The gaming news is currently the longest running series, excluding the podcast, which is on hiatus at the moment. Would you ever end gaming news?
I don't think that it would ever really need to stop. Every day there is something that needs to be covered in the world of gaming. And it's unlike WWE, which was the original concept
Yeah,
behind the
we'll
game.
talk about that in a minute.
Yep. And unlike it, there was so much happening and there's so much going on in the gaming space that even if I stopped covering it for a little bit, I would be so backtracked by so much news that I would not even be able to bring it back. So even if I wanted to stop it, I would have to stop it literally for good.
So yeah,
Yeah.
we'll talk about WWE Weekly Roundup, but the
Oh,
gaming
yeah.
news very much was in the format, but it's also got some of the highest viewed videos. Fuck you. Amazingly, in our videos, that's probably the longest between us we've gone without swearing, because that's the first time I think we saw in this episode. Well done us. While with me and Chaos, it was literally about 30 seconds in. Which is
It's weird.
Because normally,
It's weird because it's me.
normally Chaos is the most cleaned mouth. Then me and you, Dave and Jimmy all have quite foul mouths.
If you want me to continue going like I normally do for my...
Let's be fucking frank.
Alright, let's fucking do this then. Okay,
Yeah,
let's
fuck
do
you.
it.
But anyway.
Fuck you too, you
Fuck
know.
you! We've just very much been demonetised.
Very much so.
Fuck. We're like that episode of South Park where they try and use the word, I think it's shit, for world record amounts of times. We are currently doing that, but with fuck. Fuck, fuckity, fuck, 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 fuckity, fuck, fuck, fuck.
Fucking damn it. Fuck, 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 fuck.
I hope that makes best bits, but I bet Chaos will just go beep, 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 beep.
No, the sad thing is,
or
the funny thing is for
We
me,
will just be sat here going like this at us.
Yep. Basically, I'm the most censored person on IC. Basically, one of the most censored.
I would say you've got the foulest mouth, you swear most often, then Dave probably uses the worst words.
Yes, he does.
Because occasionally you just hear him say the C-bomb and it's hilarious.
Oh, I do that now.
That's just... Because this is something I spoke... The cultural difference between America and Britain is swear words. The word damn in America is considered a swear word. But in Britain, it's just a word. And so when I used it in the title for Pokemon Black, God, I got heat from Chaos. He was so pissed off. I was in so much trouble. And we had quite a big argument. But yeah, so it's like, me and Dave use words like fuck in America is considered like, whoa, you didn't just use that, but we use it over here quite regularly. Then
I know.
Then the C-bomb, the see you next Tuesday word, which we will not be saying in this video.
No, we won't.
In Britain, it's an offensive word, but it's just another word, really. It's not as bad as Australia. But in America, it's a massive no-no. I'd be arrested so fast in America.
Oh, you won't be arrested for saying it.
No,
just don't say it to the wrong people.
I'd be shot.
Oh, I know, I've avoided.
But anyway, we've distracted. So we'll talk about WWE Roundup. So this was a series originally between me and you. The first collaborative true series, but it wasn't proper because we took it. You did a week, I did a week, and it was alternated. And then in the end, it just worked out that you would do it because it worked better. I've had another text message. So the reason that ended was purely because it weren't bringing in views. It never was a big view hitter, was it?
It wasn't even just that. It was that it took so much time to physically go through all the matches that were happening that week. And it was like more things cropped up. First it was like, Raw and SmackDown each and every time and just go through those. Then we ultimately decided, hey, should we add an NXT? Then there was pay-per-views. And like off and on then, it was just like more of a hassle to set up the entire episode than it was just to, just have it all ready and set like the gaming news is.
Yeah, so and then there was AEW, and then I think when AEW was like announced, that was the point me and you went, yeah, this is too much. We'll call it quits.
Yeah,
and we looked at the views compared to the effort, and it wasn't correlating, and we'll be better putting our efforts into another series. And thus gaming news came out.
It was around that time where you were like, I can't do this whole episodic weekly thing. I think at the time you were like, okay, I want to have something that, rates in those views, but also it's like, it's easy just to maintain.
Yeah.
And you're like, Damian, do you just want to, just cover the series and, from there, I talked to you and like, this is just not working no more. And about a week later, I had come back and be like, gaming, I'm like, what can I do that's gaming related? And then I started thinking about it. I was like, gaming news. Like, everything that has to do with gaming has to go through a news network. So I'm like, why don't I just cover gaming news? And I brought that to you, and you were like, that sounds genius.
That sounds like something I would say. But I remember, with gaming news, there was actually, as much as we thought it was a good idea, but me and Chaos were concerned. So, unlike another series where we've just said, yeah, going forward, gaming news started on a month-by-month basis. We took it as it goes. And then it got to the point where PS5 news was becoming very, very popular. And then it had like a 2-month period where it banged in views and was really high. It's not at those heights at the moment because there is jack shit gaming news happening. There is like nothing, finito. There is like, although there is news, it's not like PS5 news, like front page.
Yeah, it just doesn't have that hard-hitting, just that hard-hitting journalism that it was for the PlayStation 5. It's just not a surprise, and people don't want to, thoroughly see all that all the time. So, I think I hit my peak around the PlayStation 5's, inception point where the PlayStation 5s that started coming out. I was actually just as hyped as everyone else was about the PlayStation 5.
Do you have a PS5?
No.
Because I think I'm the only member of IC who has a PS5.
Okay, this is a point where I'm gonna have to say a fuck you too.
Because
In America,
I'm the only one, yeah. Suck it.
in America, it's almost impossible to get a PlayStation
Trust
5
me.
without paying out over $1,000.
Trust me. I was supposed to get it for my birthday last year. I ended up with it in March. That's how short supply was. A certain virus really hasn't helped that.
No, it hasn't. The funny thing is, on launch day, I had the money to buy it. I had all the money to buy it. But when I got to the store, it instantly was out. Because, and
Oh,
I later found out that somebody at the store buyed out the entire stock.
genius.
And there was no stock for weeks and weeks. I
Months.
tried to order it every single day. Just didn't.
So yeah, moving on from gaming news and that,
Mm.
you've also done some of the one-offs. So we'll break fourth wall again here. For one-offs are when basically for whatever reason we can't get a video out in the regular 12/5 p.m. slot. Damian is normally the cause of these. Well, you are. You've been like the last three. The last three.
True.
The last three we've had to use one off. It's been you. So you've made most one offs, so you've redeemed yourself. So do you want to explain what a one off is?
A one-off is basically a video that doesn't have its own unique series. It could just literally be anything. It just has to be posted up, and it has to be just like it has to be all alone. It does not need to have its own series to just stand on itself. And the one-off series will be used only in the absence of a video at the 12 p.m. slot.
So for those who may notice that this video, I am 99.9% sure that you may be respecting some other regular content here. Because this series is being used as one-off filler. But this is a different type, because we are doing it as a series. But, because, let's be frank, when I approached Chaos and said, Wagwam G, can I do this? Because even I have to go and talk to Chaos when I'm wanting to do a series. Although I could just turn around and go, yeah, fuck you, I'm doing it anyway. I do go and talk to him and say, okay, what do you think? We both agreed that if this series was to come out every single week, so let's say it came out on my regular Friday slot at this current time, it would stink. It would absolutely tank the ratings. Because, let's be frank, who wants to sit there and watch two people talk about pretty much the same topics every week? It just wouldn't work. So,
No.
That's the reason why these are so randomly placed. But yeah, it's one-offs. But you filled some... What's been your favourite one-off you've done?
One of my favorite ones was one of the recent ones, the Minecraft.
I liked that.
Because it took me so long to actually produce.
Yeah.
I was actually supposed to do that, late last year, when the original Minecraft ended.
Yeah.
And the thing was, the reason why I had the whole Minecraft server was
Realms.
It was on my realms. I was paying for the entire server spot because at the time when we first started recording those episodes, we were using Eternals.
Yes.
But it was getting increasingly hard to get our hands on an actual server for us to play.
Yeah, so it came to point of is if we wanted to record, because when we recorded this, lockdown was a thing. When we recorded Minecraft, lockdown.
Yeah.
Particularly in Britain was in complete shutdown, which is why it was very easy to get me and Dave involved, because we were fucking bored. We were bored, we had nothing better to do, which is why the Minecraft MM was incepted, because behind the scenes, I actually don't know if this has ever been confirmed, but Minecraft MM came from me and Dave after a few too many. So a lot of the challenges, some of the people have said to me over the years that they are random. Yes, because me and Dave built that spawn drunk. We were plastered. We were absolutely smashed. Or I
I believe me and Chaos.
sort of sober.
We knew, we just didn't say anything.
So yeah, that's how it came about. But we used a Turnos, but then it got increasingly difficult. It got to the point of, if we wanted to use it, we had to get on an hour before and have one of us go AFK in the server. And it just got to the point of, this is too difficult. So we had a Realms at the time, and we just very kindly said, could we borrow it? And you said, yes.
Because I really wasn't using the second slot for the worlds I was purchasing. So I was like, hey, because I did say, like, do you guys want to, use that? But the only, like, downside was I had a little bit too much power over the server. I couldn't turn off the user commands for myself.
Yeah.
So I did give it to one other person, and I believe that was Chaos.
Dave had him.
Oh, right. Because I know I gave it to somebody.
It wasn't me.
And
it wasn't me because, as Dave and me have both admitted, if you play Minecraft with me and I begin to get bored, I will cheat.
Yep.
I will.
But the thing is, I kind of cut you off. I literally I made sure that you couldn't turn on cheats.
Yeah, that's for the best. But so we've spoken about all these different series and all these different games. We've spoken about yours. So this is the $1 million question.
And hit me with it.
Every series that is not yours on IC, which one's your favourite? This can include MMs or people's individual series, and why?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I'm full of them. I'm not just a pretty face.
One of the longest ones I've watched, and to be honest, one of the funniest ones I've watched was Chaos's Fire Emblem videos.
So he's only just finished that.
Yeah, normally I would sit back with my my Switch in hand, and as I'm editing, I was just listening to him playing, and that would be one of the series I watched a lot of. And if anything, the Astral Chain series, I believe that was
Jimmy's banged that.
And if not those, it was Jimmy's Paper Mario playthrough.
I'll see how this is good. This.
I liked a good amount of your series, but it was just some of the games you played just wasn't extremely interesting to me. And I would sit back and I would listen to your series as well. So don't think that I just chose the other guys.
I'm too. It's okay, I'm teasing. But yeah, they've been some fantastic series. So we Fire Emblem, 140 episodes.
Yeah.
So when we talk as of this moment, how many episodes have aired? This is about to really dox when we're recording this. We do pre-record on this channel.
Yeah, we pre-record a lot.
So the last Fire Emblem episode that aired was episode 86. So he's still got 30 weeks of content to air.
Pretty much.
He's got half a year left of Fire Emblem.
Pretty much. I've watched at least 118 of those series right now. Because
Are you on the IC account on the channel studio watching videos that haven't officially aired yet?
Well, that's kind of what we have done. A lot of us has done that.
I do it all the time.
We do. And sometimes I like to go back on some of my own series and make sure that there's no fundamental problem.
The only video series we're not allowed to do that on is Best Bits.
Yeah.
Because Best Bits premieres. And I think we would have our heads on pikes if we went and watched it early.
I don't watch those, like, when it has to come to those. We were given a specific instruction not to watch those.
Very clearly told not to. Very clear.
Yeah.
Can't make it any clearer.
No one has broken that rule just yet. Because actually, none of us really can, because when the Best Bits is uploaded and put out, it is like either a couple hours before it airs or a day before, and all of us are extremely busy, so we don't get the time to watch.
So yeah, best bits. Chaos normally edits. It takes about 12 hours to do best bits.
Absolutely.
He will normally do it in the 12 hours before, 24 hours before video airs. So normally we don't actually have enough time.
Yeah.
As he said, so no one's had a chance to break that rule.
But with other series, we do get to like sit back and watch the series, because some of us do have special access to these videos.
I set the password.
And I believe there's only 4 people of the group right now that actually has the actual account password,
when new people join with IC, we put them onto a traineeship. Damian had to go through this. Jimmy was the first person to go through this. Well, it wasn't Jimmy. It was the two people before Jimmy who joined at the same time as Jimmy. But we had to put Jimmy onto it because otherwise it would look a bit suspicious. So it was a ploy from me and Chaos. But yeah, so basically we can see, are we a good fit for the group? Is it going to work? This is so we don't give them the password in case we decide, no, this isn't going to work. See you later, mate. So they can't get access to the accounts. And most importantly, can't get to my phone number.
I don't have, personally, I've never seen your phone number.
No, but whenever anyone new wants to sign into the IC account, they can only do it when I'm available, because the two-factor authenticator is my phone. It's mine. So please don't hack IC.
The thing is, for us, it's that for those of you that are wondering why I didn't go through the whole training session, was because, one, I actually forewent the whole training session because it wasn't really a thing. We wasn't sure how IC was going to go.
Yes, until when you joined IC, it was very much we hadn't officially aired the channel. It wasn't the channel had only just been.
It was just created, so I was here when the inception of the channel was. Yeah.
So it was created. It made no sense, and the idea of training hadn't actually been.
And at the time, I was actually asked at the time, and I believe you and Chaos both knew that you guys could trust me.
We were quite confident in that, yes.
Because at the time of when IC was official, I was already a bustling YouTube channel for 2 years ahead of the Invisible Corporation channel.
Yeah, so
yeah. So once
we trusted you, and to be honest, we trust everyone. It's just kind of a thing to be careful and safe, which you should always be.
Yeah, we do trust everyone at the Invisible Corporation, and everyone that raises the IC level.
I don't trust myself. We all know. The only time we've had to change a password was when I got a little bit tipsy and got us locked out of it.
Yeah, but that was you.
That was hilarious, though. That was funny.
The funny thing is, I woke up the next day to go and upload one of my series. I believe at the time.
It came out late, didn't it?
It came out extremely late because you had to instruct me on the new fucking password, and I'm like, why is the password changed? And why was it just, was erased off of my computer? And then I was told that...
Me and David had a lot of fun the night before.
Yeah, that was exactly what I was told. And my first reaction is...
Fuck's sakes. Yeah, the problem was... this was WWE Weekly Roundup.
Yep.
So, you were trying to upload a video, you couldn't get onto the account. The problem was I wasn't awake to two-factor authenticator because I was hungover to shit.
Yep.
And so I wasn't picking up my phone. Whoops. And the video came out about 5 hours later, and thus the alternate time of 10 PM was born.
Yep, it was. I've taken advantage of the 5 PM rule a couple times.
Oh, hundreds. You're the worst for it.
But at least my video gets out that same day.
How we do it. So that is actually all the questions I've got to ask you. So what we have learned in this is a lot of the good best things about Icy have happened when me and Dave have had a drink.
And
I
some of
think
the
it'd be
worst.
rude not to have one of those beers up there. So yeah, thank you so much for joining episode 2 of Tewey Talks. If you haven't watched one with Chaos, go back and watch it. It is funny. I think that one's about 10 minutes longer, so they're nice. They're an hour long, so I do appreciate they are difficult. But watch it, put a game on, put it in the background. So thank you so much, Damian, for joining me. The next one, which as I said, I don't know when you will see, is actually with Image Tortuga. So the first member who's still with us to join after the launch. So this will be very different. So yeah, thank you so much for joining me. It's been a good one. Any last words?
We do appreciate everything you guys have done for the channel. All of us here, we do appreciate everything. All the views, all like the laughs, the comments that you guys leave down in the comment section. We do appreciate it. We read them all, and we have a lot of fun interacting with you guys. So, if you guys have any ideas for us at all when it comes to any kind of videos, let us know. Don't be afraid to let your voice be heard.
We actually do tend to listen to voice. If someone suggests a game to play, it happens. Papers, Please was a suggestion. That's one of my favourite games I've ever played on my channel. That was suggested. So yeah, that is it. Oh, my shoulder. Damn. That's another thing that's happened a few times since I Seaside. That's happened. Thanks so much for watching this video and Tewey Talks as a whole. My name is obviously Big Tewey, Chief Tewey, as I am in the IC Discord voice. Why are you? Are you Mr. Dragon? Yeah, thank you Mr. Dragon for joining me. My name's Shabab, and I'll see you all I'll see you definitely next Friday, hopefully, with probably Pokemon Black, which is going on for a while. Damian will see you probably with, there won't be Devil May Cry. You should be done by that.
Probably. I have plenty of different ideas for games.
Yeah,
and
so Damian will see you with the next series of whatever he's up to. And I'm probably doing Pokemon Black, because I think this will come out in about February time. And oh no, it won't be Pokemon Black, so I'll have just finished it. Yeah. Anyway, I'll see you with whatever I'm doing at Friday. Go check out all the other creators, links in the below. So thank you so much for watching. My name's his name is Damian Dragon 21. Or Damian Dragon Gaming. Or D.Dragon Gaming.
Yep.
And we'll see you all next time. But till then, toodaloo. See ya.
See ya.